Welcome to the stage this evening, Sarah Bensman.
Hi, thank you all. I'm Sarah. Conflict. I'm going to talk about conflict. Who here has been in conflict? Who knows the experience? Raise your hand. If you've been mad at somebody, felt treated unfairly, we've all had it happen to us. I'm going to talk about how we get there and how to get out of it. Here's what happens when we're in conflict. Somebody hurts us. Somebody steps on our toe. And we feel really bad about it. So, for example, your boyfriend is a jerk to you. And so you start telling a story about what has happened to you. You start stacking up the evidence. You start trying to figure out what has happened and putting together a case for yourself. And you tell that story to people to make yourself feel better. It feels good to tell that story and to share it with the world. So your story about your boyfriend goes something like this. Oh, he only thinks about himself. Why wasn't he thinking about me? I had a hard day, and he doesn't even listen to me. So I end up having to cave into what he wants, and he doesn't even help me out. And he's basically pretty selfish. He's a selfish guy. So you start to build up this story about him, and if you really get it going, you can build up to righteous indignation, which is a great feeling where you are totally right and everybody else is totally wrong. And you can really sit supremely in that spot for a minute. And you're telling the story to yourself, but you're also telling it to your fantasy listener. And your fantasy listener is a judge. It's somebody who listens to your story, and they deem you right, because of course you're right. The problem is that see that little line cutting through the ball? I don't know if you can see that. That's the number of judges compared to the US population. There's not a lot of judges to go around to listen to this story of yours. So you start telling it to your friends, and you tell it to your mother, you tell it to whoever's going to listen, and what you're looking for is for them to say, you were treated wrong, and you are deserving of something. Justice will be served here. And the problem is, of course, it's not going to happen, so you're left feeling kind of frustrated and bitter about the experience, and you're not moving forward in it. So what's to be done? Yes, there is a better approach. And the better approach is all very easy. It's only 5 steps. It's only 5 steps, but it's actually all of them are hard. I misspoke. All of them are hard. The first one is the hardest. You have to lay down your sense that you are going to be right. You have to let go of what you think you know. And you have to put aside your assumptions, just like Trevor talked about. And that's a hard one. You got to start it on early. You got to keep on it all the way throughout the process, because it takes work. The second thing you have to do is also really hard, and that is you've been telling yourself this story over and over and over, and you have to stop telling the story, and you have to actually start listening to the other person. You have to sit down face to face with them, or at least on a phone, and listen to what they have to say. And you want to talk because you've been telling your story, but you have to listen to them first because they actually feel exactly the same way you do, and they want to talk just as badly as you do. So listen to them, and then once you listen to them, they're going to feel better, which is going to serve you in the long run. Trust me on that one. When you listen, you want to be listening for deeper beliefs and desires. You want to be listening to what they say, not just what they want out of it, but what's motivating them, what's causing them the pain that's causing the conflict. And you want to start building on those to build solutions. So, for example, when I work with couples who are going through divorce, they may be in huge conflict about who gets the kids and how much money goes where, big sources of conflict. But if you start with what their common interests are, which are their children, what are the things, that's what bonds them together, what are their common goals? They have all sorts of common goals and visions for their kids, and we build on that to build solutions. So the last thing is to weigh out the cost of not solving the problem. What's going to happen? You're going to stay in conflict. That's going to suck. The other thing is, what's going to be the cost if you actually win? If you fully win and one side fully loses, what is the price that you pay? What happens when that happens? There's always some form of retaliation, right? So why do I talk to you about this? I do care about couples. I care about relationships. I care about that. But the real thing that motivates me to stand up here and talk to you about this isn't couples. It's really about larger social issues. I think that the same thing applies to any sort of social issue, whether it's religious, political, territorial. It's all the same polarized thinking. And that key is to stop, lay aside your assumptions, listen to what the other person's saying, and build on solutions that are built of common interests. And I think that the more you practice that, the better you get at it, and the more you can do it on a day-to-day level to change the world. Thanks.